Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Well-Appointed Desk. This is going to be my February planner and journal setup, and I decided to start today's video with actually filling my fountain pens for February. So my theme for this month is based on the printable that's available on our Patreon for February, which is Wine and Roses. I feel like I wanted something kind of happy and joyous and a little Valentine's Day-ish. I really just like flowers and chocolates and whatever, and so I like the aesthetic of Valentine's Day. I know a lot of people don't like the holiday in general because it feels forced and, you know, dinners are expensive and everything, but come on, roses are just pretty. So anyway, this is my Wine and Roses. I want to feel happy and joyous for February. January was cold, gray, snowy, rough. So I wanted to put a little cheer into my February. So for ink colors, I decided to go with Granat for my sort of wine color from Califolio, Matador for my bright red, like rose red, and then I picked Australian Opal Mauve as more of my sort of pinky color. I suppose I could use like a bright pink, but I have a bunch of like markers and things like that that I will use to sort of get that more of that pink in. I wanted my fountain pens to have the more everyday usable writable colors. So I think what I'm going to do is, because the Australian Opal Mauve is the lightest, I'm going to put it in my Pelikan M600. I call it the Ghost. I think it's like white on white or white stripe or something like that. But yeah, it has a little bit wider nib than my other pens, so I will put the lightest color in the widest nib. And I don't think I got the nib far enough down in there. Okay, there we go. So all filled up. And the nice thing with the white translucent barrel is I can actually see how much ink I got in there. So this little guy is filled, and we will switch to, I think Granat, being the darkest color, will go in the finest nib, which is the well, do I want to do that? Or do I want to put Matador? This is the nib for my Bennu Skull and Roses. So I'm wondering if I want to put the Matador for the roses. I think I do. So we'll do that. We'll put the Matador, the Diamond Matador, in the Bennu Skull and Roses. I'm sure that people have other techniques for doing this. With these smaller, like tall, skinny plastic bottles, I tend to hold them in my hand so I don't tip them over. It takes a little dexterity, but it's not terrible. And I'm just wiping off the end of the nibs with a paper towel because I got a little bit on the, so that's my Skull and Roses. And we'll get this guy threaded. And then the last will be the Califolio Granat, and that will go in this Sailor. It's a ProColor that has a modified nib, and it was something that I picked up at the Atlanta pen show years and years and years ago. I think it was pretty early on. I wasn't real familiar with all the different brands, but I just really liked that the pen barrel is clear with little gold sparkles. And I was like, well, that's just the prettiest thing I've ever seen. So, and then because it's clear, I've managed to find a Sailor converter that had like the color to end. And since green's my favorite color, that was what I used. So, ta-da! So those are the 3 fountain pen colors. And then I still have my, my Nagasawa Sailor Pro Gear Slim in the, I think it's spring green or something like that, with Pen BBS, I think it's 342, I think it's the Leo Tolstoy color, so that I have a green. So I have reds and greens. So the greens for like the leaves of roses and what have you. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and swatch my colors now that I filled my pens. For the fountain pens, I've got these 3 colors. I'll do those at the end because I want to start with the markers because I like to write the header for the month with marker. So I have 2 Pentel Sign brush pens. This is the, I don't know what color this is because it's written in Japanese, but we're going to call it pink. Just for the sake of ease. I got to move these out of the way because I'm left-handed. So Pentel. I will find the actual color and put it in the links, but for now, I'm just gonna call it pink. So and this is the Pentel Sign brush in burgundy. I wish they would come out with more colors because these are some of my favorites, but I do like the more unusual colors like this burgundy, which is a little bit, it's not like a Crayola red or anything like that. I kind of just like the little more unusual colors. So then we have the Marvy Le Pen, which is really light, but I think it'll be nice for underlining or highlighting. And this color is Dusty Pink. So then we have this is a really old Faber-Castell Pit brush that I've had, and I think it might have come in like one of those subscription boxes years ago, which is why I only have this one color. And it looks from the barrel like it's going to be pink, but it feels more like a red color. It's number 126. And I think it'll be good. Those are pretty good Valentine's Day colors. And then we have the fountain pens. We have the Bennu. Stone Roses. With the Diamond Matador. I know a lot of people favor the Diamine Oxblood, but I think the Matador to me feels more like a true red. So then we have the Pelikan M600. And this is Robert Oster. And from what I understand, if you were to order Australian Opal Mauve today, it may not be the same color. There was something that strange that happened with the formula. So the first batch came out this lovely sort of purpley color, and the later ones I think are more reddish purple. So your mileage may vary. So this is the Sailor ProColor. And this is California. through. And it's looking quite purple, surprisingly so. The swatch made it look a little bit more red, but maybe it'll look a little different on my Stology paper. And then last, this is the Nagasawa. I think it's called Spring Green. I think the translation is always a little iffy. Some people translate as Spring Green. And then this has an old pen BBS. I think it's 342 or 242. I think it's the Tolstoy color. But I don't know how easy it is to get that anymore. Again, I pared back my ink collection, so I've been really trying to use up what I have rather than going out and buying something new. But if anybody wants me to do a color comparison for something similar to Tolstoy, honestly, I think I've probably done it before, but I can certainly do another one. So, okay, so those are my ink tests. Let's move on to the journal part. So in regards to kind of trying to match to this artwork, I pulled out a couple of my sticker and washi tape books. I have the Bunches of Botanicals, which I'm hoping to stock in this shop soon. I've got it ordered from Peter Popper, so it should be in, but if not, it is available on Amazon and other sources. This is the Antiquarian sticker book, the Bibliophilia, and it does have some plants and flowers and such in here. It's just a very odd book, but it's really fun. It was not very expensive. It's the list price for $26, and it is a chunky hardcover sticker book. It has 1,000 stickers in it. So I pulled a few items out of there, and then I have this one that is a washi tape thing that I did find on Amazon a while back, and there are some flowers and stuff in here that I might pull out. Things that feel sort of Valentine's Day-ish. So I like it because they're washi stickers, so they are a bit translucent. But sometimes it's hit or miss for me. I spend more time looking for stuff in here, so I do try to cherry pick out the things that I want in advance. The same thing with this one. I pulled out the pages that I wanted. There were some pages like this one that were mostly just red flowers that I pulled out, and I put them all in a little envelope for myself so that I would have a smaller selection to choose from, and they would all sort of relate to what my theme is this month. So I have a variety of these. I also have my new Roll for Initiative D20 dice. I have both the brights, sheets of the brights, and a sheet of the neutrals, and mine were printed on paper that I used, that I was testing on. So anyway, I always get the junky ones. And then I have them in the neutrals that I'm going to sort of pepper into my planner. And if you are in the Patreon, you've probably heard a bit more about the Gamify Your Life project that I've been doing. And I've even created games for myself to play based on the 20-sided die, where I'll put a sticker down on a particular day, and then I roll my dice, and I have a list of 20 things that I can choose from to do. So based on what the dice roll is. So an example would be, I have a list for pen-related activities. So if I roll the dice and it rolls like a 7, that's like journal for 20 minutes. So in those moments where you're not sure what you want to do, or you have a bunch of things to do, I have one that's specific to just everyday life. So if I roll the dice, it might say go get a cup of coffee, but equally likely it'll say work for another 20 minutes or go do your workout or something like that. And as I work from home, I can stop in the middle of the day and go do my exercises or do something else. For someone who works in an office, that might not be as a thing that you can do, but you can definitely set up your own list of things that maybe are related to your job. I have a cat who really wants to be in the frame. But anyway, so that's the Roll for Initiative. These are stickers available on the website. I'll put a link in, but I just pulled a variety of stickers. I did also pull some, these are from Kubo and Lucy that are the dry transfer style of different kinds of coffee. Some look like tea, some look like hot cocoa, that I felt like would be really appropriate for sort of treating yourself extra special in February. These are little snacks. They're different pieces of toast or breakfasty kind of things, which I thought was really sweet. So I may add a couple of those in. Some more random stickers that I pulled out of those books. I stuck these in here because I thought maybe I would need some scary, angry kittens. They just crack me up. So this maybe goes along with my Skull and Roses a little bit more. And then these are just some more cut stickers from the various sticker books. So, and then the washi tape, I just pulled a bunch of reds and pinks and flowers. And I had this, which is a roll from, I think it's Bande, B-A-N-D-E. And these are individual stickers that are on a roll, and you peel them off and they're like little die cut stickers. So there are leaves and pink flowers and red flowers and that kind of thing, which I thought would be nice to use. And I keep them in this little container because they do tend to kind of stick to everything. So, and once again, the washi tape that I pulled, I wrapped a ribbon around them because it just keeps them from rolling everywhere. So this has been my solution. And this was just like a piece of ribbon that was tied around something that I bought or was on a gift, and I just cut it and saved it. So, oh, I have two new rolls of washi tape that I might put in here. These are both off the website from A Jar of Pickles. This one is the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year tape with, dumplings and buns and the little money envelopes and lanterns. And I think, somewhere there's the little fireworks. And then this one, which is a pink with gold flowers, which I think will be really nice for the Valentine's Day season as well. And since tomorrow is the start of Lunar New Year, I will might put a few pieces of this tape in, even in my January section, but I'll use a bit of it in February. So super cool. So those are the tapes. Just to go back into how'd my January go? If you didn't see my video for my setup for January, I printed my winter scene sheet on craft paper, which I think turned out really nicely, worked really well, kind of definitely what the snow looks like around here, because it hasn't all quite melted yet. And then I used sort of a blue colored theme for all of January for my page layouts, and I did a walkthrough of that. So this was the day that it snowed really bad, so I did put a photo in here, and I've been using, I have the Polaroid like mini printer, the ones that's like the inkless style. I'm not crazy about the one that I have. I know a lot of people use a Canon Ivy, and I'm thinking I might upgrade because the pictures tend to come out a little muddy. But they do print out on sticker paper, which makes it really easy to add them into your planner, which I like for events, for big activities. Sometimes I just, I took a picture of Zoe one day peering out from behind my computer. She sleeps on an old blanket. She's actually sitting on it right now by my computer. And again, I just tip things in. Like when I go to the library, I have them print out the little receipt. One, so I know when I have to return a book, but also I kind of like to just keep track of it. And in this case, I actually just wrote that what I was reading these books for. One of them was for my book club that I do with some friends, and then the other one was just a book I had really wanted to read and managed to read it in a couple days. I was sick quite a bit in January, so there are some pages that just don't have a lot of stuff on them. So, we've all experienced it, and so this is actually today, so I haven't actually filled it out yet. But I do have all of my little page layouts through the end of the month, so we can actually go ahead and tip February in here. So, trying to pick which tape I will use. think I might use this little plus sign. It feels very Swiss, but it is MT tape that I probably got from Jet Pens at some point. So I'm just going to lay it along the edge here. And then I gotta grab my scissors, which I always forget to pull out. So here are my dice in a hand knit bag that I use for my Gamify Your Life stuff. And I'm just gonna trim those off and fold this back. And I didn't tuck as well as I usually do. So there we go. So I just try to get it right into the seam, the fold, and then just press that tape flat as I can get it. And now I have my calendar in here. And again, I do like to round the corners because these have rounded corners. If they had square corners, I probably wouldn't bother. So I'm going to grab my corner rounder real quick, which is right behind me. And this is just an Muji corner rounder. I'm sure there are fancier ones that you can get. This is just the one that I have. So and this month I printed this out on this kind of, it's one of those paper that sort of has like a watermarked lines in it. It was whatever white paper I could find in the drawer, you know. So it looks like it printed pretty nicely. It feels really funky. Can you kind of hear it? Kind of ridges. Oh, there you go. I'm sorry, that just amuses me. So all right, that is in there. And I guess I can start doing a few page setups. I might go ahead and put some tape on the back of this too, just so that there we go. Kind of helps to sort of fold the tape before you stick it in there. And then I'm just gonna trim those ends so that it's not sticking out. There we go. And my fingers are all sticky now. Okay. So that way this won't come out. I could pretty much, yeah, there we go. So. I really want to use this tape. So that's sort of how I'm going to start this page. There we go. I'm going to use this flower. Stick it up there. Oh, I know what I forgot. I forgot my date dots. So, and then I'm just trimming it to sort of match the rounded corners here, but not very well, clearly. It's going to require spinning this all the way around. There we go. So let me go grab some date dots. I'll be right back. Okay, so I grabbed some of the ruby red date dots that I will use this month. And I'm just gonna stick that right there. There we go. So a little something for the first. The second, which is Groundhog Day, which is also one of my best friend's birthday. So I always remember her birthday. Let's see. I kind of like this. This is sort of a watercolor toned tape, which is very pretty. Kind of a little rainbow effect. And I think I'm going to use this little flower this month. Oh, there we go. And then the last thing I'll need to do is go through these and add in the day of the week, which I tend to do later because I'll just sit down and do them all at once. Just sort of switch my pen around, or at least like a week at a time. Ew, I might not be using this tape. It's like gotten a little funky in its stickiness. Pull a little bit of the gunky bits off. And as I've done in previous months, I do like to sort of change where I put my date information each day. One, to keep the bulk from sort of being all in one spot. And also I kind of like finding every day I have kind of a new page layout, and it's kind of fun. So I'm going to use one of these rub down flowers. I guess it's just a leaf. And I don't remember where this particular sheet came from. It might have come from the Chicago Stationery. What was it? The Chicago Planner Con that I went to in November. So let me find something to rub this down with. If you're somebody who keeps quarters around, those are always great for this. There we go. I have a couple of these just sort of little flowers. I'll stick that there. So I do have some stamps that I might like to use with some of these, so I might do more of this later. And I feel like this video has already gotten really, really long. But anyway, so this is probably the most chaotic video I have made. My apologies. My apologies. I thought I was more organized when I started this than I actually am. But I have collected, and you do not have to do your planner like I do my planner. You can pick your own theme if you have a lot of a particular type of washi tape or stickers. Maybe Valentine's Day is not your thing. This, for me, is also a really good excuse to use up more red ink, which I don't tend to use the rest of the year. So this is a really nice chance for me to sort of play with some red ink and enjoy it. But, you know, again, and also like using up some of this washi tape that clearly, since it's gotten all weird and funky, I don't use as often as I probably should have. Clearly I have more washi tape than anyone should. I'm going to add these two on here. And I might have to take this one roll off because it is a little weird. But I still think this is probably too much washi tape for 1 month, but go ahead and try and stop me. It is a lot, but once I finish doing my daily, like numbering all my pages for the month, I will probably just take this down to like 1 or 2 rolls that I might use to add in as the month goes on for those days where maybe I need to divide the page in some way, or not a lot happened and I just want to fill the page so that it feels complete and finished. So yeah, we've got washi. Oh, I forgot about the stickers. We have my little envelope, and what this does for me is make it so that this is all I need to do my planning, scissors maybe. All of the pens go into my kit, or into, like, my fountain pens go into my fountain pen wallet. So this makes it really transportable, really easy for me to do a little decorating and fancy stuff up without having to carry around like these great big books. You know, if I'm sitting in a cafe or whatever, I just have this like little envelope with stuff in it. So this is sort of my journal setup and how I kind of handle this. I will do a separate video that goes a little bit more into detail about how I'm doing my Gamify My Life project. And I will post that separately if you are interested in that, and make sure it's included. So anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. Like I said, I apologize for being a little disorganized this month. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do all those things that YouTube likes. It helps other people find this channel, which is greatly appreciated. And it also lets me know that people are watching the videos, which I really appreciate. So thanks very much, and I'll talk to you again soon.